Hello. Welcome to the third edition of SEOTalk live webinar. This is your host Parth. Uh, some of you folks know me. Those who don't know me, I am into SEO since last 7+ years and associated with SEOTalk community for about 6 years now. So happy to take this up. Welcome to our new edition, and we are currently in the third edition of our SEOTalk live webinar. So welcome, and I hope you have good plans for this long extended weekend. Almost many of you are working with foreign clients, so it's a long extended weekend for you. So let's get started. And with all this new AI and technology coming up in 2023, um, we none of us had anticipated back in December or January of this year, and now we are almost in middle of this year 2023, and there are multiple new artificial intelligence based tools coming up, generative AI coming up. There's a war going on between Microsoft and Google, so this was probably the right time to take this topic up. And we have with us our special guests and panelists of the day, uh, Rewati Khare from Dentsu. She is an associate director at Dentsu, leading SEO and media planning efforts. We have Isha, who is founding member of Fixit. She runs her own women-only digital marketing agency. And we have Mr. Amish Keshwani, and everyone knows him. He's associated with Markets and Markets since a decade. So, welcome all to the third edition of SEO Talk Live webinar. So good to have you all. So, broadly, our audience knows three of you, but still, we would want you to introduce yourself in a way which our audience doesn't know, not the LinkedIn way. So, please pick it up. So, let us start with Revati. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Parth. Thank you so much for having me today. Very excited to have a wider discussion. There's a lot of you can say emerging technologies and a lot of talk happening around AI these days. So basically, in the start of this year, there has been quite a few things that people might not have maybe thought of. Now it's everybody's talking about AI. So myself, to start with, myself, Revati, I'm working as an associate director for SEO and media planning at Dentsu Creatives India. It's been a great. My major experience has been on the agency side only, so I know what sort of you can say what sort of brands or client perspectives are there when it comes to a lot of things changing in the search landscape. So to cater to that, there is always to stay ahead of the curve so that whatever changes or upgrades are coming in the market, we as an agency are able to match that standard first thing, and that would help us to give the sort of proper understanding as well as guide sort of guidance to the clients who are looking forward to tap onto such emerging technology, as well as enhance and adapt to these technologies to improve their presence in the Google and across different search engines. So that is definitely we are aiming to work around. I believe today's discussion will put a lot of light on that, so looking forward for that. Thanks a lot for having me again, Pat. Thanks a lot. You're on mute, Pat. Pat, you're on mute.
Arth, you are on mute.
I'm sorry. So,
Yeah.
interesting introduction, and we're so happy to host you. We'll come up with exact questions with your role, with what you're doing at Dentsu. So, stay tuned. Over to you, Isha.
Yeah.
Please
Thanks.
introduce.
Thank you. Hi, Parth. Hi, Revati, Amish. First of all, thank you so much. Now, like it's the second for me in SEO Talk webinar. So we started the first one, and now this next one. So even as what Revati said. So firstly, just tell you about myself. So my name is Isha Mehendiratta. I am right now working in the field of digital marketing for past more than 15 years now. I have I'm also coming from a huge background of agency. So started with my career with an organization called as Resultrix, which was part of Performix. Last sprint which I left was when I was with IPG Group. I was part of Interactive Revenue Director SEO there. So that was the last one. But in 2022, that's the most important thing which I've done is I've taken a leap. I have started my own organization, which is Fixate Private Limited. I'm making it as only women uh, executed organization. So of course it has its own plus and minuses there, and also it's only organic growth company. So me coming from an SEO experience plus working with a lot of agencies, what I've seen is that either you work in agency or you work in IT sector, SEO is always a sideline, like it's a subset which people sell. Lot Very few agencies literally have SEO as their main focus. So that uh, thinking that majorly, I've started my organization, which is purely in SEO. We cater to 5 different industries, which is real estate, digital agriculture, uh, femtech, which is feminine tech, because we are women centric. So we that's one place where we are footing up. Then your digital magazines and edtech. So these are the 5 major domains which we cater to. And yeah, so that's some like entrepreneurship is something which is very new to me. So this is something which like I'm right now at the learning stage of being an entrepreneur. So that's about me.
Fantastic, Isha. You have been like doing great, and your initiative of women only agency is such a great thing to do here in India, and kind of empowering women here. So thanks for that. Over to you, Amish bhai.
Thank you, Parth. Hi, Isha. Hi, Reti. So, some of you know me, some of you maybe don't know me. My name is Amish Keshwani, born and brought up in the vibrant city of Ahmedabad. I'm into the digital marketing field for close to 2 decades now. I started my career as junior SEO in Ahmedabad with one of the startup when it was referred as internet marketing a long time ago. I worked in Ahmedabad for close to 7 years, and I moved to Mumbai to work for an agency called Pinstorm. I worked for there close to 2 to 3 years. Then I moved to Pune to work with a Forbes listed B2B giant, and I'm currently working with them as a senior vice president for digital marketing and responsible to generate a $40 million pipeline for the business. I'm also a CMO council member, author of a digital marketing book, speaker, and currently I'm living in Pune with my 7-year-old daughter and a wife who is into environment science, as well as she is an entrepreneur by herself. Um, so that's it. You can Google me up. I would love to connect with you in person as well as on all social media. And thank you so much, Parth, for having me here.
Thank you very much. We have a very diverse uh, panels on our panel today. So we have agency side as well as in-house brand side. So welcome all. We're good to go with the introduction, and our audience probably have joined and have tuned in from YouTube, LinkedIn, and multiple other platforms. So hello, folks. Feel free to share in the comment section below where have you joined from, what do you do. We would like to engage with you, and please do ask questions to 3 of our panelists today. They are veterans in digital marketing, so don't miss out this chance. Like if you go out to find your time and consult, they might charge, but today you can ask for free. So please go ahead and do your own stuff. So let's get started. So uh, we'll get started with a question and answer format. So from the agency point of view, I'll ask first question to our first panelist, Revti. So in light of this changing consumer behavior and trends, what do you think? Like, how can marketers effectively identify and target their audience in 2023?
Well, first thing we need to understand it what sort of target audience you're looking for, because there's so many platforms and a lot of different verticals have different set of TG that they want to target. So the first object, the first initial stage that you need to identify is what sort of audience you want to target. Is it Gen Z, or somebody within millennials, or somebody on the elder, who are 40, 45 plus around. So that once you're able to identify, then it's easier to tap onto which what are the different platforms that you can find these people. To take a glance around, if you see across different social media platforms, Instagram is quite popular around a lot of young generation, where you have very short content format of things, and it's easier for them to consume, understand, and just move on around. However, when it comes to Facebook, it's a little longer set of content form. If I'm specifically talking about videos, you'll find a range of all the TGs present over there, rather it be the young population, or somewhere who are in between, in the middle age, or all the elderly side, 40, 45 plus around. All these people are available on Facebook as well. So first of all, first thing is identify your TG. Second thing would be which platform is more suited for them. Whichever platform we talk about, because YouTube is widely used across all the TGs that you might have seen across, and there's a lot of engaging content coming in, rather it be shorts or a detailed video of 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, etc. So understand your audience, tap onto which set of TG that particular audience fit in for your social media platforms across, and then understand what sort of content you want to build around, based on which vertical or business services you basically serve. Because there are 2 3 different layers to it. Definitely, a lot of people might come to go through your content just as an information sort of. They just consume it and just move ahead, irrespective, even irrespective if they're actually interested in that particular service or products or not. So that just spreads the awareness. The most important thing here is to make sure you have a very proper storyline, so that they have a recall about your brand, even if they are still in the top of the funnel bit that we usually say, spreading awareness. But if they have some sort of recall about your brand, it's easier for them, you to retarget them, and basically pull them around in the middle or bottom of the funnel section. So the most important thing is understand that, and based on that, then create the content. So there are 3 different set of content strategy that you should look around for each of these funnel people. Just spreading awareness, generic informative video should be more than enough, or generic information should be more than enough. But if you're tapping onto more detail or going down the funnel, definitely tap onto what sort of advantages or maybe USPs your products and services have, that will give them an idea to pull and turn on to a decision if they're actually interested in your products or not, and then think about conversion in everything. So that is very very important. A lot of people say around 5-10 seconds or maybe 20 seconds of content, or whatever your content piece you're writing also for that matter, is enough. But how much relevant it is to your audience, that is more important, rather how big it is. Because if the user is able to relate to it on a one-on-one basis, that gives you a upper hand across your different competitors. A lot of things are present on the internet, then why exactly a user, or why exactly I should come to a particular website? So that differentiating factor definitely should be there. That will give you an understanding. Plus, whatever emerging technologies right now we are having with AI, and a lot of different interactive engagements coming, rather it be augmented reality, virtual reality, that gives the user a personal experience to personalize with your brand, and understand how that particular products is useful for them, and how exactly it would be they would be able to use it. So taking advantage of these technology advancement, as well as adapting to it, is very very important in the right way. So that is very very important right now, and definitely there are a lot of new things coming in the future. We are still talking about AI, but I am in fact very very excited to see what the future holds. So I'm looking forward for that in the upcoming years, definitely.
Fantastic, really super interesting take. Like uh, the TGs you mentioned for Instagram and Facebook, that really makes sense. I have a follow up question here. So
Yeah.
as you mentioned, the content length on different social media platforms is very different. So would you recommend to use the same content with different content lengths on different social media platforms, or you would either recommend to produce all unique and different content for all the different social media platforms? So is it kind of regenerating the content for different platforms, or syndicating it with different formats, like the length?
Yeah, see, you can use the same cuts and have a few smaller cuts to share across different platforms, but it's very important that you stick to the optimal proper length for each of the platforms that you're targeting, because
Got
that
it.
will give you better engagement. So using smaller cuts definitely is not an issue. That's a good thing to have, because the more awareness we're able to, the more engagement you're able to make, definitely it helps you in a longer run. So we can use
Got it.
that, but stick to the optimal length that each of these platform specializes in, so that you're able to get the full advantage of it, and use it to your full potential.
Fantastic. Thanks for answering that. That answers my query. So
Yeah.
I think so. We'll move to the next question. Next question is for Isha. What emerging consumer trends do you anticipate will have the greatest impact on marketing strategies in 2023? And how can brands adapt to stay relevant?
Okay, so I'll break this the answer into two things. First is we'll talk about emerging trends in 2023. I think 2023 is one of the year which has uh, given us kind of like we just discussed yesterday also, like it is basically an eye opener for a lot of us, because there are a lot of things which, as Revati said, which came up which none of us have predicted, and marketing itself has to now change or maybe adapt um, uh, speedily to the things which are changing. So first of all, we'll talk about the consumer trends. So one of the most important thing which in consumer trend is hyper personalization. And when I say hyper personalization, it does not mean that it has to be intuitive, or it has to be way too like, I mean, you're just throwing people out any kind of a messaging. It has to be hyper personalization, means that you're understanding your consumer well. So that is why if you see that the brands who are uh, uh, just randomly showing the ad, and the brands who are directly coming to you and having a proper personalized approach using the right technology, have a higher conversion rate. So that's one of the most important thing which is coming up. And apart from that, even I think even if we talk about Instagram, or if we talk about influencers, things have changed now. People do not, it's no more about numbers, like number of followers, number of likes. It's about genuine influencers. It's about people who are really going to make marks. So that's something, that's another consumer trend change which is coming up in 2023. Like, be whatever social media you are using, but you have to ensure that you are tapping to the right genuine, even if you are picking up that platform, ensure that uh, you are reaching out to the right set of people. Next trend right now, the something which started in 2022 is no code. Like, I mean, I think now technology has been so advanced that half of the things are no code. So, and that's something which is coming very handy for the marketers, because there are a lot of no code websites which has came up now. You just can create a landing page website in like 10 minutes. People do not have to go and run to a WordPress or another developer. So that's another thing. um, One another trend which I would say is multilingual, which is, of course, it again is extended version of your personalization, because personalization means that you are understanding your consumer and you're understanding the language which they're speaking. So you have to ensure that you're multilingually there. Next is, again, it is somewhat part of personalization, which is again came in 2022, was community building. So community building is another important thing which has drastically came up. And the reason it is also creating a whole impact is because that whole community is clo- closely knitten, and that whole community is helping each other and empowering each other, and a lot of brands are using it. I think uh, way back Salesforce used it, but nobody understood that. But now people are constantly understanding it and ensuring that they are part of their part. Now, if we come to the next part of the answer, where you said that how are these consumer trends, like how basically brands should adapt uh, uh, to stay relevant. So I think one important take I would say which brands has to understand is, nowadays people are no more into just liking their product. People are more into how social value that brand is putting it up. People are no more into that. Okay, they so for example, if someone is just selling like a cold drink, no more it's about, okay, it's whether it's Pepsi or whether it's cola. Now it is all about, okay, if it is for a younger breed, what are they doing, how exactly they have contributed into the social environment. So that's something which is another. And that is why if you say that a lot of organization which are coming up, they are really coming up with a messaging which are impacting the social ide. So another, and the second thing which people need to do as a brand, which they need to do is have the personalization approach, use the right technology, but ensure that the personalization is properly being driven so that you are not very invasive in running your ads or the messaging which you are putting it up to your customers. So that's my take for your answer.
Fantastic, Isha. I would sum up like three highlights of your answer. Like non-tech marketers, there are plenty of no-code platforms out available for them, so it's quite helpful for all of us. Uh, the vernacular language thing. There are many media news websites here in India, even outside. Those are expanding due to like they are leveraging vernacular language and stuff like that. And the third thing which you mentioned was leveraging the power of community. So whether your brand is on LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook, if that social media platform changes their algorithm, but if you have your own set of close community, it doesn't matter to you. Like you have your
Yeah.
community to support your initial launches and all the way.
Yeah,
So thanks for
last thing
yeah.
which I forgot was, especially for 2023, is AI. The reason I just have not glamorized it, because I think AI itself has been now glamorized. So I just thought that, okay, I'll just put it into the last. Yeah, I mean, using
I,
AI is, yeah,
I
it's
was
now
just
given.
skeptical. Like I was just thinking, like it's our panelist too, sharing her answer, and there's no Chat GPT coming up. There's no AI coming up, and I'm like, okay, we're going good. We're going good. Cool. Now let's take up a question which is on a brand side. So we'll move to uh, the third panelist, Mr. Amish Keshwani, and the question for you is from a brand side. How have you leveraged consumer behavior insights to reimagine your marketing strategies for 2023? And what outcomes have you observed so far?
Yeah. So, Parth, I would definitely agree with Revati and Isha here. Most of the point which I wanted to share has been covered by Revati and Isha. But from the brand perspective, another observation which I had is that over the last 2 years, AI has spoiled you. AI has basically spoiled users, right? First Alexa, then Google Direct Answers, and now ChatGPT and Google Bart, right? So nobody wants to do any kind of research. The user wants a spoon feeding answers. They don't want to go and identify, okay, which are the best or relevant websites or where I can find my answers. They would prefer that, okay, this is my question, which is the best way to get answer accurate and within a short span of time, right? And in a
Got it.
cheapest way, right? So basically it all comes to your product offering or your service offering: best, cheapest, and fastest, right? All three are getting catered over there. So as a brand, I think again coming to the basics, that you need to have all these three catered into, whether it's your product or whether it's your marketing. You need to be better, you need to be fastest, and you need to be the cheapest to win the market share, right? So that's the biggest learning for me as an in-house marketer, and that's what we have implemented. I mean, like many of other brands have implemented chat gpt. Whether you take an example of HubSpot, they come up with a chat spot, right? And many other websites have implemented chat gpt. So same, we also did that. We implemented chat gpt on our website to you know give that spoon feeding to our users who are coming on our website looking for answers to their problem statement. We are basically into the market research. So we have a long landing pages of 5,000, 7,000 words, describing that, what are the market trends going on, what will be happening, which geography is leading, which industry is leading, right? So but for that you have to go through the content, and right now with the chat gpt and part, nobody wants to go for that, right? So we implemented the same thing. We on the front of the landing page we gave that, now get your answers quickly, fastest and the cheapest way, right? So you just type in your question with the help of ChatGPT API. Based on our content, the answer will pop up. You will get to know what you are exactly looking for. So that's how we implemented it, and we really got a good engagement over there. But I also include that, chat gpt is not enough, because ultimately it's an ai, and specifically where people are looking for market intelligence or a data intelligence, they have a complicated questions which typically ai doesn't understand, right? Even you also have observed that when you go to the chat gpt looking for specific answers, you need to give a right prompt, you need to revise your prompt again and again, right? So what we did is we all make this journey more smooth for the user. We backed it up with a live chat agent, so there will be human agent back behind the chat gpt api. So if there are any other further questions which chat gpt is not able to answer, there is a human agent who is able to help to make the user journey shorter, quicker and fastest, right? So that's how we try to solve our problem. That's those are the insights we get it captured, and of course it has helped us to improve the engagement as well as user query, user intent, which we were earlier not able to capture it. I hope I answered your
And
question.
yes, fantastic. Like knowing the brand side of the new transition going on, the paradigm shift going on in the digital marketing space. Thanks for sharing that. So to kind of sum up, like chat gpt and generative ai is like now everyone would want to have a pa, personal assistant for them, like chat gpt to help do their day-to-day tasks, and everyone is going into their comfort zone of not thinking much and getting out of it. So yeah, cool. I think so we are done with our first phase of questions with the panelists. So before we move to the next phase, which is more into technology and data, I would want to request to the audience who are listening to us live, or maybe who might watch this particular replay. So please do ask your questions in the comments below. We'll take that up. You can ask your questions directly live. We'll be taking it at the end of this session. So please do keep on asking questions. Moving to the next phase of our webinar, it's more about leveraging technology and data. So first question to our panelist, Revati, is uh, with the rapid advancements in technology and data analytics, what are some innovative ways agencies can utilize these tools to optimize marketing campaigns?
That's actually a very crucial question, I would rather say, because when we talk about data analysis, there are so many things that we need to have to make sure that the campaigns or the strategies that we are working around are able to cater to the objective that we want. Plus, we're able to target and tap onto the right set of audience. For that, you need a whole lot of data that can give you the exact insight where your audience is, how to find them, where exactly they lie, and how to basically portray or give them a portrait of your product so that they're able to get the correct interpretation of the product. So the more data we are able to capture, the more understanding we have about our audience, it's easier for you to identify more opportunities and optimize your marketing campaigns accordingly. So that's very, very important. First of all, by leveraging, like we're talking about data analysis, it's very, very important if you're able to adapt or take leverage of the predictive analysis models, which will give you an idea where exactly you want to go, how exactly you should be planning about it, and taking a good gist of analyze the historical data that can give you a correct and accurate understanding of your consumer behavior. So that is very, very important. Once you're able to understand your consumer behavior and identify what sort of audience are correct for you to give a correct information or display about your products, it's very easier for you to convert them, or to make a brand spread a brand awareness on a wider level. Apart from that, there are a lot of conversational marketing which are coming in, I believe. We already discussed about virtual reality and augmented reality, so that's definitely one part that we can see here, that can help us to enhance their experience, give them the personalization which I just Isha mentioned. That it's more about, it's not just about basic personalization, that you share across all the audience the same experience. Each audience has their different set of perspective or requirements, so it's very, very important that you cater to that specific that particular query that the user is looking for. And like Amish mentioned, with AI and ChatGPT, we do have answers to a lot of questions, but we don't get the exact question, because obviously it's a human who's searching on internet, on search engines. So there tend to be some sort of patterns, or layman terms that we usually use, or across in general conversation. But any of the AI tools, or chat gpt for that matter, won't be able to cater it exactly that we want. So you have to break it down to a lot of pieces. So if there is a human touch around it, that gives even better understanding to the user. So take advantage of the predictive analysis, understand where your audience lies, understand the exact model which should cater to each set of your audience who are looking forward for similar products or service to buy around. And according to that, then optimize and take advantage of the different attribution model, where you can optimize it for multiple channels. Take advantage of that data and optimize your marketing campaign in for different specific channels that can give you the best result of it. So the more data you're able to cater, the better understanding you'll have about your audience. So for that matter, the with GA4, we have a lot of new things, that the people would be able to get a better understanding about their audience. More data you're able to get it, to try to use such advanced tools that gives you better understanding about your website, how the user is catering, and where exactly they lie. The more data you're able to get in, the better understanding you'll have, and the base of your marketing campaign will be really good to tap onto the right set of audience at the right time. The more data you have, that's even better for you to align accordingly, I would rather say. That's basically, that's what my take is. I believe the more friendly you are with the analytics tools, the more data you're able to cater, that should resolve a lot of problem, or rather all the problems that you have while setting up, or setting a base for your marketing campaigns.
Fantastic. From the agency point of view, like leveraging data and playing around with data and being data friendly and data tools friendly will help on a longer run for sure.
Yeah.
My next question to Isha is, how can agencies effectively navigate and leverage data privacy regulations while harnessing the power of data driven marketing strategies?
Okay, so I think first of all, here my answer will be, the first thing is agencies first need to understand data privacy regulations. Then only they will be able to navigate and leverage. So now, right now, I think the three most important data privacy regulations which we have across the globe. One is GDPR, which most of, I think that's one place where that was being launched. A lot of us have changed our website to ensure that we are enabling cookie. But apart from that, there are two more, which is I think CCPA, which is California Consumer Protection Data. Then there is another one which is COPPA, which is Children Online Privacy Policy, which has been launched by US government. So first and foremost, understanding these policies is very important. Now, all of these policies clearly, a crux of this policy is that if you are basically taking a consent, or if you are getting a data from a person, like if you're asking somebody to fill up the form, by just ensuring that they are giving you the consent to use that particular data, you have to uh, be mindful enough that the regulation which you have added is ideal to this particular policy, and you are ensuring that you are leveraging it to the best. So the solution here which comes up is basically privacy as a service, which a lot of people, a lot of organizations sell. So basically, privacy as a service is, or short form of that particular thing is DPaaS, is basically a cloud based software which is a service to businesses, which provide the service of ensuring that they are pulling up the private data, and then they are, if you are using that in the marketing campaign, so most of your, the most of the CMS we are using at this point of time, or even if we are using our CRMs, so to some extent they follow the privacy as a service criteria. So they ensure that, okay, when they're pulling up the data, and when we are running particular marketing campaign, they enlightened into it. So these are, that will be my answer. Like, the solution is privacy as a service, and of course, like, ensuring that you know what are the policies. And I've also heard, I don't know how true it is, but most probably by end of this year or by max next year, even India is planning to launch their own data privacy law. So things are of course going to change here as well. So understanding the data privacy is very important, and then of course, by after you understand the data privacy, then when you are marketing to it, it becomes easier. And honestly, this is very crucial for the bigger brands, because a lot of times you don't even know what you are doing, and then when you go to the lawsuit, and when you have to literally get those things filed up, it is very bad for a brand.
This brings me up with a follow-up question. So there are these data privacy policies around the globe. Europe is very strict. The California state in US is also against strict. But uh, as you mentioned, like I was going to ask you about this one, like for India, like how are we progressing? Currently it's kind of a gray area, not legal, not illegal. So uh, do you only make it mandatory for your clients which are catering outside India, or do you also recommend them following these policies for Indian audience as well? Like, what's your take on it? I think so. Can we hear Isha? No.
No, we can't hear. You're still on
That's
mute,
okay.
Isha.
Sorry. Hello.
Yeah.
No,
Can
that's
you?
okay. Yeah, we are good.
Okay, so yeah, so I was just saying that again, it depends on the brand. First of all, if my brand, irrespective it's in India, and if they are selling their product or their services to across the globe, then by default they have to ensure that they are viable to all this. But if there is somebody who's only right now catering to India, so I would say that we slightly are, right now we are slightly lenient at that, at least at the Indian audience standpoint. If it's a organization which is selling only India, we are not very strict in the data privacy law regulations. But then what we usually recommend to, if you personally ask me, I usually recommend to my clients that ensure at least you have the basic privacy policies enabled to your website. If you're filling up the form, ensure that your consent is proper, because all of these things in generic will also help. When after getting the data, how we are marketing is of course it's a different ball game altogether, but at least when you are getting the data, get it right. So that is what
Got it.
I usually tell to the brands.
Got it. Got it. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that, Isha. Let's move to the brand side of this. And my next question to Mr. Amish Keshwani is, as a brand, what technological investments have you made to streamline your marketing efforts, and what impact they have had on your overall marketing performance?
Yeah. So first of all, as a brand, we had a certain limitation because unlike other small startups or any other company, we have to go by the budget. Right. So it is very
So true.
difficult for a marketing department to, for example, if we last year we couldn't predict that chat gpt will come and storm the world, right? So we couldn't have budgeted for that. But yes, and now we know. So we did some amends in the existing marketing budget. But yeah, for the next year we did some good technological investment. Basically, we did investment in three parts. First is investment in AI and ML. So we wanted to leverage chat gpt and AI for our own users who are using our software, who are coming to our website, and integrate the intelligence of AI for our research tool, right? So that's how we have implemented it. Another major investment we did is in data analytics, right? So we wanted to make sure that we are, transit from regular Google Analytics to GA4 property well in time, so that we do have a historical data accessible. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to compare the existing GA data with a GA4, because all the properties and everything will be different over there. So, you can't compare a session with an event, right? It would be a
Yeah.
totally different thing. So we did an investment there, and last investment is in the marketing automation tool, because we wanted to give that personalization experience, no matter whether they are coming on the website, or we are sending them an email, or they are coming on a social media platform. We wanted to streamline that omni-channel experience. So that's the third area where we did a major investment. Overall, so far we are seeing that, we are getting good output from our investment. Obviously, the implementation of chat gpt based search tool on our website is helping us to improve the engagement. At certain extent, it also help us to get that qualified leads as well. Data analytics is of course helping us to judge that which channel is working, which paid channel we need to optimize it further. With social media is helping us more, right? And marketing automation has turned out a very good investment for us, because it has taken our email marketing to the next level, right? We could optimize so much better based on the user engagement on the website, based on the user journey. So we can personalize it in a lot better way. So yeah, overall I feel that, investment in three technologies for any brand would get a good outcome.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. I have a quick follow-up question for this one. And so,
Sure.
as you mentioned that you have made amends into your marketing budgets for next year and even this year as well. So that increased budget, uh, will you be hiring any AI prompt engineers or machine learning developers or something like that? Or are you implementing it with your, are you planning to implement it with your current existing team structure? So any thoughts on that?
Sure. So there are two aspects to it. One is a quick fix. So where, when we wanted to implement the chat GPT, of course we took a professional help who can help us to immediately fix it. But for a longer run, we obviously, because we are in house, we would love to upgrade our team so that they can also learn a new skill, and we can also take an advantage as a brand for their intelligence and their efforts, right? So in a short term quick fix, we used a professional help to quickly implement it for a shorter span of time. But now we have given a training to our in-house team so that they can help us, use this AI and prompt engineering to get the qualified content for our marketing efforts.
Fantastic. That sounds like a cool hybrid approach. Do keep us posted on how
Yeah.
it goes for you. Uh, Fantastic. I think so. I have one question which is relevant to this segment from the co-founder of SEO Talk, Manar Barai, and the question is for Amish Bhai, and it's as brands start feeling easy to create content in-house with new generative AI tools, do you think it will impact agency businesses?
So I would say, like most of the SEO question, the answer is it all depends, right? So as a brand, if I had to tell you, as a brand, if I have already outsourced my content business to any agency, right? And if that agency has came up with a solution to scale up my content, because as a brand, cost is a second matter. My first priority is to scale up my content marketing efforts, right? If, for example, if I'm getting 100 articles in a month, can you give me 1,000 articles or a 5,000 articles in a month? Can you give me that speed, right? Because everyone,
Got it.
there are two aspects to grow a business. Either you cut down your cost of, or you can scale up the speed of your marketing, right?
Got it. That's an
So either
interesting
you
take.
increase
Yeah.
your revenue or either you cut down your cost. So as a brand, we always prefer to increase the revenue. And the one sure short way to increase the revenue is increase the volume and quality of your content marketing. So as a if I have outsourced a content marketing or piece to an agency, and earlier if they used to give me 100 articles, and now they come up with a solution that now with the help of chat gpt and other AI tools and prompt engineering, we could give you 1,000 articles or 5,000 articles in the same amount of time. I would happy to go with them rather than invest that much amount of time and energy to develop an in-house resource for that. Right. So
That's
that's the case. Otherwise, if the agencies don't cope up with the new marketing trend, I will left with no other option to hire someone in house with the
got it.
prompt engineering skills.
That's an interesting take. So, uh, if you're planning to scale that, like, will you be doing it with the same budget which was earlier, or will you be also increasing your budget? Because if you're scaling from 100 to 1,000, and the cost of producing in-house content with generative AI tools is very less, like negligible compared to the cost we used to pay outside. So in that case, like if they are scaling it up, will you increase the budget, or will you go with the same budget which you had earlier?
So as a brand marketer, I would negotiate.
Got it.
Right, because I also know that there are tools available, and of course as an agency you are going to use that tool. It's not that man hours which required same man hours which is required for 100 hours. I know that now with the same resource, with the same amount of hours, you can generate more, right? So what I need to pay you more is for your intelligence to get the same content out of it. So it could not be the same, right? For example, if you are charging me $10 per article, so you cannot charge me $10 an article for 1,000 article. It could be somewhere less, around 7, 5, 7, whatever the negotiation is. But yeah, it has to be win-win for both the parties. It should not be only one-sided.
Fantastic. So we are more than halfway, and the first two phases of our webinar, uh, we have been going very comprehensive route. So we'll do the next couple of phases a very quick rapid fire round. So we'll kind of shorten it, so you probably can answer it in up to a minute's time. So let's start with the next phase, and it's dedicated to, will, obviously we are doing this on the SEO talk thing. So going back to our base and core of SEO, we'll switch the gears and let's talk about how we can leverage SEO and the content synergy. So, my question to Revati is, how can agencies collaborate with brands to ensure the synergy between SEO and content marketing efforts? And what are the key considerations for successful integration?
Okay, so key considerations. So I basically prefer keeping basically three aspects to it to start with. First is definitely the understanding of your content, how good your content is, keyword research your content and everything, bit and pieces of it. The second part comes with the technical side of it, as in the technical SEO, where we talk about how well we are with respect to the technical implementation and the user experience side by side, how technical information, how we are able to communicate with the audience or have a better engagement with the audience. And finally, it comes down to what sort of integration we require to make sure that we're catering to all the above two factors and simultaneously adapting to whatever new updates or new advancements are coming in. So definitely keyword and content is something we have been working around. SEO, we, whenever there's a discussion about SEO, definitely keyword and content is the base of it, while we are having conversations. So we have been working from it for like since the start. We started talking about SEO, so that's definitely will be there in the future as well. Definitely a few tweaks will be required based on the generative AI and the chat GPT versions coming in. So focus more on the part where what the user is asking for rather than what you want to educate the user for, because it's all about what your user wants to hear. So focus on that prospect, the user intent, what exactly your user is looking for. Focus more on that when you're curating any content or content strategy for that matter. Second is your technical side of thing, like I mentioned. So make sure you're able to enhance it in a way where you would be able to make it better for the user experience. Because when I talk about technical SEO, there are 3-4 things which pops usually into my mind, is like the how better is your core web vitals, which is one of the talk these days. That enhancement will help them to have better user engagement. How good is your page speed, the latency of the website, how well your website is working with respect to technical aspect, and how are you able to make sure that you're still working on it and optimizing it. Because by the time definitely the website and the pages get high, the engagement gets higher, definitely you need to cater to the personalized and good experience for your user on that. Second thing, the final thing is basically integration, which I was talking about. So more integrations you're able to make with the other channels around, rather it be your voice search or the video optimization YouTube set of things, where video optimizations are a part of discussion now, with YouTube emerging as a very new video search platforms, as a platform. So that is definitely the last thing that we should keep in mind, and optimize it for voice search tools, like maybe rather it be Google Assistant or Alexa for that matter, because that is something which will be there in the future. So it's better you start preparing for it from now, so that if there is new any sort of upgrades coming in, that you have to have an integration around it, and simultaneously continue what you were doing in the past, because that will just a few tweaks and bits will be required to make into your content strategy and the technical checks around it, but it will definitely continue around, because that is something there to stay when we talk about SEO for sure.
Fantastic. Thanks for adding that, Revati. Moving forward quickly to the next panelist, and we'll finish it off very quick, Isha and Amish, so we can probably have a couple of questions before we wrap this up. So, a question for you, Isha, is in the era of semantic search, how can agencies assist brands in creating high quality, SEO friendly content that meets the needs of both search engines and the target audience?
Okay, I'll try to be quick in answering this question. I think first, I usually this is something which I tell to my team also, even to brand and everyone. I think content is the soul of SEO. So if you fail there, you will fail the whole SEO game altogether. So one of the most important thing which I believe the agency needs to help where the brands is basically structuring the content, like what exactly you want. Agencies have to be very clear on uh, each and every page or each and every content piece which we are planning to write or coming up with. We have to have a very clear vision on what is our objective. Like, I mean, your keyword research being put it at the side part, but in general, what are your main headers, what are your subheaders, what is your primary objective of intent of that particular page, and how you are ensuring that you are leveraging that page completely. And nowadays content is not just about the textual content. Are you ensuring that page has equivalent images, equivalent videos, or any form of content which is going to easily define that particular content piece? So that's kind of an help which agency has to come up and go. For all of this, the most important thing which comes up is your brief. Like agency, the brief which an agency will share with the agency, that's with the brand, is the pillar of your content piece. And the last thing which I will say is, I think, which we talked in SEO talk few weeks back, which was your hub and spoke model. Like agency have to be very clear on how we are using the hub page and how we are ensuring that we are creating those spoke pages to have the complete keyword and entity part of it. So yeah, that's my take on because content is not going anywhere with the AI and with the new uh, search engine altogether. Content is very important, and I believe we should stop talking about search engine and target audience. We should just talk about target audience. Search engine will come by default.
Fantastic. That sums up the agency side of content and SEO. We'll move to the brand side of it. And my question to Uh, our third panelist, Amish Bhai, is how has your brand leveraged content optimization techniques and SEO insights to drive organic traffic and engagement in 2023? And were there any peculiar results which you have observed, what your brand has achieved?
Sure. So, Parth, I will keep it short and simple. We focused on three things. The very first is capturing the user intent by getting either it through a chat GPT or in any other way through chat window or anything. Then we create content using generative AI around those captured intent, and then we gamify it to get a UGC around it, right? So that has helped us make it go viral, at the same time updated and fresh content every time on the landing pages, and it has given us an amazing result so far. We got around 3500 pages in the top 3 of the Google, right? So that's
Fantastic.
amazing. So that's the kind of result we got through this content optimization method. I hope this answers. Short and
That's
simple.
an achievement. That's really really cool. And uh, you specifically sharing what your brand has achieved. Uh, cool. I think so. We are done with our questions to the panelists. Now we'll take up a couple of questions from the audience. There was a question from Keyur, and uh, the question is as I go like, we are heading in the AI era. So, what do you think AEO? He specifically mentions AEO, which is answer engine optimization, will be the future of SEO. Who would want to go ahead and take this up?
Uh, yes, Isha, please go ahead.
Sure.
Okay. I think, see, it's again the same thing. And this is something which I've talked in my last talk as well. See, we should stop thinking SEO as just search engine altogether, because it's SEO is anything where search is there, you have to optimize. So that's why people do Amazon optimization also, people do ASO also, these are just names. These are just names which we are putting it up. In the end, you want to name it as answer engine optimization, of course, like it's going to be. But more than answer engine optimization, my more importance here is that how it is going to help the brand. Because even if I ensure that I get one of my brand answer part of the AI itself, how will that leverage my brand to get more traffic or get more leads? Because that's just something which is anyways going to be more important for the brand. Because yes, like things will change, but um, I would say this is anyways part of SEO itself. So yeah, you can say that. But SEO is anyway not going anywhere. It's still till the time search engines are there, and till the time we have like even social media is there. You optimize your content for ensuring that also comes in search results. So that's my take. I
Yeah,
mean, anyone else can add.
yeah. Yeah, I'll just add
Uh,
one thing which I
sure. Please
just
go ahead.
mentioned. That was we have been since the past we have been working on educating the audience the way we want. To be specific, the word that he is using, answer engine optimization. Now is the time when we focus on what our audience need, answers for, because that is more important now as we are moving towards optimizing, or rather Google for that matter, as with generative AI is trying to answer the question for the users rather than what we are adding it on the internet or whatever content we are pushing in. So that is definitely something that is changing the face right now. Rather than we educating on a lot of things to the user, focus more on what your audience wants to get answers to. So yeah, that's the take around here.
Fantastic.
Yes, Parth.
Like that sums up our conversation. Like marketing in 2023 reimagined, and that goes towards like it's all about chat UX, chat user experience, whether you're serving B2B, B2C, or any particular industry. Chat UX will be the next thing. Uh, Dharmesh Shah, the founder of HubSpot, also shared on LinkedIn, and it's going to be quite huge. So let me check if there are any other questions coming up. Uh, yes, there's one question from Ria Acharya. how to break the stagnant growth of keyword ranking. And for example, post content optimization and other hygiene factors, keywords have grown to a certain rank and stopped. So what next? Who would want to take it up? Revati, you want to go or
Yeah, I'll take that
anyone?
up.
Sure.
Yeah. Uh, Post content document. So see, you have worked on the content pieces for now. So it's like I mentioned, there are few integrations that needs to be done. Once you are done with the content part, try to optimize it for more on the creative or the other set of optimization that can help you optimize or create new ways of educating or having creating content for your users. For example, rather it be an image, like Isha already mentioned, optimizing, having more different creatives or informative content, not just the blog or the article part of it. Your videos, your infographics, there are different ways through which you can educate the audience, and they do not have to invest a lot of time to read or skim through the content. So try to work around those where you have, a different set of videos or YouTube videos, or maybe for that matter any sort of video education or content pieces that you have. Add more on the images or creative side of it, where is your infographics come into picture. A small concise piece of image which gives you not just the information but illustrated in a better way, so you don't have to skim through a huge content of maybe 1500 or 2000 words. So it's easier to communicate on that front, and try to have integrations around the other marketing, other engagement platforms like maybe video search and few other aspects where you can help improve your visibility, because definitely that is one opportunity area where you can get better ranking and try to enhance in the longer run, because that is something which will there be in the future with all the AI and voice command and voice assistants coming into picture. So that will help you to engage it, like keep a tap of it and try to prepare for the future.
So, Parth, I would just want to add one more point to what Ria have said is, I think one most important thing, which irrespective of you're an SEO person or a brand person, a person needs to do is that you have to revisit your content always, because keywords are constantly changing. So, if you're seeing there is a stagnancy somewhere, or if you're seeing that okay, my ranking has came and now there is nothing else, go back to that particular keyword, go back to the page, go back to the keyword which you want to rank to, go back and see that which are the ones which are ruling, and why are you not able to outbeat them, what exactly is missing on that particular content piece, and then revise it. That's one
Fantastic.
addition which I would like to say.
Fantastic. So to sum it up, as Revati rightly said, add more media formats to the content and try to leverage it, maybe image, maybe video. As Isha rightly said, that you should go ahead and revisit your content multiple times. So go to the Google search back again, see what has changed, who is ranking, who has outranked you, and has the content format changed, has the intent changed. Uh, Adapt to that change and make relevant changes to your content again, and you can again grab that position. So um, there's one more question from Malar Barai, the co-founder. uh, his question is, beyond generative AI, what other bigger disruptions will you observe from agency perspective? So Isha and Ravi, you can take that up, and from brand perspective as well. So let's go with this one, each one of you, and then we can wrap this up in next couple of minutes. So from the agency side, Isha, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So I think, see, if you ask me, AI itself is the biggest disruption, because AI is one technology which, unfortunately, is a technology which get matures by himself. So it's not that a technology has to mature it. AI itself means that the more data you feed it, they try to enhance them. So that itself is the biggest disruption. If you honestly ask me, I think after AI, the biggest disruption here will be that humankind has been changed to robotics using AI. That will be the biggest disruption to the whole world. So that is something which is going to change, because if Malhar is saying generative AI, so of course, like generative AI is more on you're answering it. But apart from generative AI, I'm actually talking holistically, because AI itself is right now not just only generative. It is all like people are using the open source and creating their own AIs in different mediums, which itself is a biggest disruption. So I think next we just have to see that, okay, how long we are going to ensure that our content piece or our website or our marketing bit's going to stay longer. That is another, with all of this disruption. So that's something which we need to check. But yeah,
Fantastic.
it's
Thanks for adding that, Isha. What's your take on it from the agency side, Revati?
Uh, AI definitely is something which is there, but there, like Isha already mentioned, there are a lot of things which are there, within AI. So it's not just about content. Definitely, we have to take care and think around other aspects as well, which are not just related to content, but the few engagement and other innovations which are coming in. To give you a specific understanding around this, is depends on the innovations which are coming in, how your user is getting even more attached to the mobile devices. When I say the experience part of it, so we all want some sort of personalization. There was a huge hype around and still going on the augmented reality of a part that has been integrated across a lot of e-commerce platforms. And e-commerce brands are leveraging it, like we are providing it. You have this, apart from AI, augmented reality, you have plus this thing plus that thing. So it's like they are just still trying to portray it in a way that we are giving you personalized experience plus something. So they are giving sort of, you can literally say key some sort of gist of it ki you we have something extra apart from what you already have across present in the market with the competitors. So there's still a huge competition which is going around, and brands are looking forward to get something new, some more interesting way to engage to the audience. But they're still sticking them to more towards the mobile devices that the user is working around. So it will just improve the engagement part, but is it actually helping the users who's looking forward to get the right answer or the right product for their need? So we need to be very very careful what we are portraying or giving to a customer as a brand. So we have to be very particular and careful on what sort of engagement, or rather to be what sort of services we are providing them, because it's good to see, or it gets a lot of quirky look when we see to it, but is it actually solving the problem? That's the whole question. So that is more important, I believe, right now
That was so
from my
spot
take.
on. Fantastic. That was spot on. Um, let's get to know the brand side of it.
Yeah. So Parth, I would say that from brand side of we always focused on the user experience, right? How we can make sure that our user get a better exposure and better experience of what we have to offer. So one key trend which I have saw many brands are coming up is AR and VR, right? A lot of you can see IKEA, right? They are giving you an AR experience, right? If you go with any beauty brand, right, they are also giving you an option to to look have a look and feel through digital medium, that how that particular fashion accessory will look on you. Or if you go with Nike, they will also came up with an app where you can actually with a face app you can try it out, that which color will look good on you, right? So I think that from a customer experience side, AR and VR is going to be a next big thing for the brands. So that's what my take on it.
True. Brands like Lenskart and Mintra coming up with, and there are multiple interior designing and uh, the stuff we buy for our home. There's a lot of AR involved in it, so it's helping customers, the end customers. So to kind of sum it up, refrigerator was kind of invented, but Coca-Cola made more money out of that refrigerator. And the same way, with this generative AI coming up, there'll be a layer of tools and softwares above it, and there'll be someone who will be disrupting this whole AI thing. But my take on a different level, like apart from this generative AI thing and the LLM models coming up, The metaverse thing is a whole different thing where Mark Zuckerberg is working on, and it's a whole different approach, and the thought process. It's quite far. We are quite far away from it, like maybe a decade, maybe 5 years. But yes, like you sitting at your hometown and having a meeting with your client who is based in Tokyo, Japan, and you're connected in a metaverse, and that's so close to a physical meeting thing. So that would be possible in near future, but that is what I look up to, and I look forward to the next big disruption after the generative AI thing. um, Fantastic. We are very close to wrapping up this one, our third edition of SEOTalk Live webinar. But before we wrap it up, uh, I would again give it to reach out to all of the three panelists, and would quickly want to know that what interesting projects are you working on, and if you would want to share or add something before we wrap this up. Amish bhai, you want to go first?
Sure. So, Parth, many of you might know this. I recently published a book on 55 digital marketing masterpieces. So, how I came up with this book idea is basically, since as a digital marketer, every one of us, are facing this one particular challenge, that every time a business or a client comes with an business challenge, we look forward that how can we solve their business idea or business challenge, right? And then we want to make sure that we solve it in a better, cheaper, and faster way, right? So is there any other ideas, which probably I'm thinking in the right direction, but I needed a guidance. Has anybody done it yet? What are their success rate, right? Is it a good idea to go ahead with or not, right? So I used to do this for a long period of time, but since last 6 months I started to consolidate it, journal it, and then I came up with at least 50-55 campaigns across the industry, from startup to B2B giants to B2C to NGO, starting from fashion industry to education industry, from a small startups to an e-commerce, right? Everything I tried to explore, and then I thought, why not to share it with my fellow marketers, so that if anywhere anyone is in doubt or anyone needs a creative idea around any domain or any kind of business size, they can have some ready reference to look at it, right? And they might get inspired by some of the ideas, how other companies have done it, right? You can get an idea, you can add your flavor, and you can make it bigger, right? So why not to share it with the entire community? So that's the entire idea behind this book. So far, touchwood, I got a very positive feedback around this book, and this book already made it to a bestseller on Amazon within 48 hours of launch, all thanks to and this entire community, SEO chat community, and all the fellow marketers who I'm worked with in the past. So that's something amazing, and I'm really proud of, and I'm really looking forward for more such reviews and how this book is helping to them. So that's from my end.
Superb. Like you shared this in public with all of us, and anyone can buy it. So you can probably share the link to buy that particular book which you recently published. Community
Sure,
would love
yeah,
to check
definitely.
it out.
But being
Yeah,
an SEO, I don't need to share a link. You just type in Google Amish Keshwani book, or you can type 54 digital marketing masterpieces. You will find it in the first link.
that was a good plug. Fantastic. Cool. Uh, Isha, Revti, do you want to add something what you're working on, or you want to add something here before we wrap it up?
Okay, I will just add one thing. So I think in my introduction, as I said, that I'm working on a my own business, which is women centric. So if I just want to use this platform to call up all the women who have either taken a break or taken a leap, or at least at this point of time want to restart their career. So my organization is primarily remotely. So it's because it's women centric. I've also ensured that I'm not asking people to come to office. So if there are specific women who have worked in the past in the field of SEO, want to restart their career, or in general also want to work on SEO. So I'm just using this channel that you please reach out to me on LinkedIn and share your resume. I have a lot of openings, so maybe any one of them can join. Yeah. Thanks,
Fantastic.
Val.
We'll spread the word. Thanks for sharing it. Revati, you want to
Yeah.
go next?
Yeah, I'll just conclude it on a quick note. So, like we, any which ways, had a lot of discussions around. So, just one thing, which I've been working from quite some time. I'll just like to put that foot around there. We are working on a concept around one search. Basically, a lot of people think SEO does not have a lot of scope, and we have heard it a lot of time that search engine optimization is dead and stuff like, but people don't understand it start with search engine optimization. Till the time search is there, definitely SEO will be there. So while you're working around for your strategy, just try to understand how you're able to integrate different channels. When I say one search, I'm talking about integrating SEO with your media or Google Ads side of things, to try to get a understanding where you can rank easily. When you can rank easily on the top 5 searches on Google organically, why do you want to spend so much of your money or budget to spending on the Google Ads part of it? To integrate your channels and understand how you can optimize not just your money, your budget, but if there is an easier way to get visibility and improve the website visibility or product visibility on the Google search, rather than just spending a lot of money, a lot of budget on your Google campaigns or ad campaigns, that's the best way how you can optimize it, and you can use that budget to have a better integration, or rather investing it across a lot of other technology, or whatever new things which are coming in, upgraded or emerging technologies coming in, or rather for that matter automation way which can enhance a lot of bandwidth for your team. And you can automate a lot of things that is taking a lot of layman hours for your team to work around, and optimize that particular budget to put in to a very useful way, and club all your channels that will give you the best result in whatever objective you're trying to serve here. Yeah, that's it at my end.
Fantastic. It has been almost 70 minutes, 75 minutes of uh, a lot of value additions and insights being shared. So, uh, we from the SEOTalk community thank each one of the panelists, Revati, Isha, and Amish Bhai, for joining us live on SEOTalk webinar, our third edition. So, thank you so much for your time and valuable insights for the SEOTalk community. We are very, very thankful, and we would love to have you again sometime in the near future. Um, Thank you so much for your time, and I would like to thank Varun Kumar and Malar Barai, who are at the backstage managing stuff. And so we are live, everything is going smooth here. So thanks to them. And thank you all. This is your host, Parth, signing off for the day. We'll see you in the next edition, last Saturday of June. We'll see you there on the fourth edition of SEO Talk live webinar. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in, for tuning in. Watch the replay, like, comment, share, and we look forward to host you again. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
Parth.
much.
Thanks, thanks,
Bye.
thanks,
Bye.
thanks, SEO Talk. Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.